Hey guys, today we're just going to go over the quiz practice part 2 problems, 2 through 16 even. This was again guys on page 77. Alright, so number 2, the answer is 3/5. So here I had common factors for 3 and 9, and my common factor was 3, so I divided 3 out of 3 and 9, and then I divided 2 out of 2 and 10. I ended up with 3/5 times 1 over 1, and that equaled 3/5. Number 4, I had 3.5 times 5 and 7/10. I rewrote my mixed numbers as improper fractions, and I ended up with 7/2 times 57/10, which unfortunately guys, you actually just have to multiply this one out because there are no simple common factors to simplify. So I'm going to show you using the calculator so that I know that you're you know how to do this using calculators. So I do 7 times 57 to get my numerator. It's 399. I know that 2 times 10 is 20. And then what I do is I do 399 divided by 20. So 399 divided by 20. Once I do that, I know that I'm going to have a whole number of 19. You see how I have 19 before my decimal point? So that's 19 is my whole. And if I do 19 times 20, my answer is 380. Subtract that, I get 19. 19 is my new numerator. 20 stays my denominator. So my answer is 319, or is 19 and 19/20. That's my answer for number 4. Number 6 is 11/15. So 7 over 1 times 8/5. Remember to flip that second fraction. Multiply numerators, multiply denominators. I end up with 56/5. 5 goes into 56 11 times. 5 times 11 is 55. So I have 1 left over. 11 and 1/5 is my answer. Number 8, 7 and 2/3 divided by 1 and 1/9. I rewrite them as improper fractions. Check here. Check it guys. Did you get 23/3 divided by 10/9? You should have that there. And then when you rewrite it again, flip that second fraction. Change your sign. 23/3 times 9/10. Here I can divide out my 3 as my common factor. I end up with 23 times 3 is 69 over 1 times 10, which is 10. So from here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to show you 10 goes into 69. So I can do it this way. I can do 69 divided by 10. You probably know that it's 6 wholes. And then I have something left over. I know that 6 times 10 is 60. So if I subtract 59 minus 60, I end up with 9/10. So my answer is 6 and 9/10. Number 10, I wanted to show you, this is a spot right here where there were some errors, so I just highlighted that here. I had 7/12 divided by 1/9 times 9/14. So here, order of operations, let's look at order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, whatever happens first in the problem. So I have division that happens first. So I'm going to do just that division part, 7/12 divided by 1/4. Dividing fractions is simple as pie. Flip the second and multiply. Okay, so here's what I flipped that. I changed my sign. And then I just rewrote it here. I did a little bit of work. 7/4 times, 7/12 times 4 ones. 4 is a common factor that can be divided out here. 4 goes into 4 1 time. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Then I end up with 7 times 1 is 7 time, and then 3 times 1 is 3. So I end up with 7/3 times 9/14. So it looked like this, 7/3 times 9/14. There's a lot going on down here, so I'm just going to explain it again for you right here. 3 is my common factor that can be divided out of here. So 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then here I have 7 as my common factor. 7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 14 2 times. And I end up with 1 over 1 times 3 over 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 halves is equal to 1 1/2. Number 12 gets a little hairy, a little scary right here. I have 56 ninths times, oh, whoops. Let me back all the way back up to the beginning. Sorry about that. I started off with the 6 2/9 divided by the product of 4 times 1 1/6. So PEMDAS, remember, says parentheses first. So we're going to solve the parentheses. We have to do this multiplication first. So I rewrote 4 as 4 ones times 7/6. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 is 7, so that's where I got my 7/6. I cross-canceled or divided out 2 from each of those, from the 4 and the 6, and I ended up with 2 ones times 7/3. Multiply that. 2 times 7 is 14. 1 times 3 is 3. And then I rewrote my mixed number. Then I converted it into an improper fraction. 56 ninths times 3/14 because I flipped that fraction. Notice that? Did you flip yours? I hope so. Okay. So I have 56 ninths divided by, or times 3/14. So 3 and 9 have a common factor of 3. I know that. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Now 56 and 14, I'm going to look to see if 56 is divisible by 14, if I get a whole number when I do that. So 56 divided by 14 is 4. So I can divide that out. If you don't, then you just end up getting the answer, the same answer, but a different way. So I go here, 4 times 1 is 4, 3 times 1 is 3. I end up with 3/4 or 4/3. Oh, my words are getting all tongue-tied. Sorry about that, guys. 3 goes into 4 one time with 1/3 left over. Okay? Now this I know is a big problem. Number 14 is a ginormous problem, but it's solved the same way. Just walking through the same steps. So 103/4 feet times 75.5 feet. Change them into improper fractions. 4 times 100 is 400, plus 3 is 403 over 4, times 2 times 75 is 150, plus 1 is 151 over 2. There are no common factors here, so you actually have to multiply this stuff out, which is where your handy-dandy calculator will come into play. 403 times 151 equals that giant number 60,853 over 8. Do you see where I got the 8 from? 4 times 2? Yeah, that part was pretty easy. All right. So now we've got to do this part. We're going to do 60,853 divided by 8. And my whole number is 7,606. So I have 7,606 is my whole number. Now, if I was doing this problem as a division problem, my answer would be 7,606 and then something else. I don't know what. So I can do 7,606 times 8, and I get 60,848. Do you see how I got that? 60,848. Now, I'm going to do my subtraction problem, and this is where I'm going to find out my remainder. 60,853 divided by subtract 60,848. That's not right. That's not what I meant to do. 60,853 minus 60,848 equals 5. So then I know that 5/8 is my remainder. So 7,606 and 5/8 feet squared is my answer. Sixteen is going to look the same way. It's a division problem, so I'm taking this board that's 129 inches long and I'm dividing it into 32¼ inches sections. So 129 over 1 divided by 4 times 32 plus 1 is 129 over 4. Dividing fractions is simple as pie. Just flip the second and multiply. The super cool thing about this, guys, is I noticed that 129 and 129 are the same. They're going to have that same factor. I can divide 129 out of both of them. And I end up with 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. So I can make 4 skateboards. Boom. You got it. Ta-da! All right. Let me know what questions you still have.